We're already 7 days into this fusion, and we've covered a lot of topics so far. To not spend all your saved up energy on the first day. Don't forget about your potions. It's definitely harder, so you need to try harder. Then we also covered the time zones, and yesterday we covered the saved up resources, how they are not all equal, so use the right ones first. But today, we're going to talk about straight up cheating. And before we get to this so-called cheating, let me quickly recap day number 7 for you guys. We had the Fire Night tournament to finish. That was priority number 1, so that is what we did. Then with all the leftover energy, we decided to work on food for the champion training event, which also worked for the Dungeon Divers event along with the Fire Night tournament. So we're doing pretty good here for the Dungeon Divers. I don't think this is going to be an issue. I have 2 more days roughly, so today and tomorrow to finish with the Ice Golem tournament, which is pretty easy with the remaining amount of points that I have to do. Champion training event though, I wanted to get to about 8,500 points. I came up just a little bit shy. I did use some saved up energy, so between the prior day and yesterday, I have about 1,500 saved up free energy that I've used so far. This is not gems. This is literally, the energy that was on the shortest timer. So that is what I covered yesterday. I still have all my potions left that last a very long time, so I'm stretching these out a little bit more. I'm just going through the free-to-play stuff. In terms of brews, we've used a couple, but certainly not a ton. Again, I'm saving that for a more important day, which I think is going to be in 2 days after the Ice Golem tournament. So now with all that said, let's quickly check out my fragments and then we'll get to the plan. We have 45 Fenshi, 50 Giscard, 50 Mordecai, and still only 20 of Skimfos. And now the plan, which has had a few minor updates. For example, the artifact enhancement event number 2 is at 3,300 points instead of 3,200. You still need a whopping amount of silver if you start this from scratch, but that is what I want to focus on today. I have 3 or 4 methods to help you guys complete this for less silver, or perhaps generate more silver to help you complete this. Secondly, I also updated the value of the Ice Golem tournament exactly like how we had predicted. Also leads me to believe that the Spider tournament will be at 1,800 points, maybe 2,000 points, we shall see. My total amount of brews so far is at 35, and like I said before, about only 1,500 extra saved up free-to-play energy that I've used so far. So now let's go into the artifact cheating, how to get more points for less. Technically, this one is not exactly cheating, but I'll get to the exploits a little bit later. For example, the Forge, you can generate a ton of silver. Everything that's sitting in here right now is a silver for you. It just takes a lot of time to go through everything, but just pick the best pieces you want. Craft those first, whatever you have left over, work on those as well. That is also going to count towards your clan versus clan tournament. So this is a great day to start squeezing out more silver from here. You might even get a couple good pieces that are actually worth upgrading all the way to level 16. But that kind of leads me to my next point here, is that one of my favorite methods to have an easier time on an artifact enhancement event, and I call this cheating yet again, is to finally do your gear cleanse. There's a lot of gear in here that is worth a lot of silver. If you pick the right ones, you rank it up to 8 before you sell it. That is a lot of points. It might not look like it, but let's say you have 100 pieces in here that you can rank up to rank 8 and then sell it and still turn in a profit. So technically your silver doesn't really go down. Let's assume it stays even, but then you're generating free points. I call that a little bit cheating. So what I have for you guys is examples of sets that are worth doing this with. For example, the Days set. If you take, let's say, a helm, you sell this for 56k. Not too shabby. Let's say a shield, 75k. So let's assume this one, for example, here is at rank number 4. I can still try and rank this up to 8 and still sell it for a profit. Yes, there is RNG involved in this. It might not always work. But then what if we take, let's say, a chest piece, rank 6, legendary, that is 86k as well. Okay guys, so there is a lot of stuff you can squeeze out from here. The Cursed set is a great one. The Frost set is another great one. Look at these shields right here. They're worth 108,000. This is easy to rank up to 8 and get a couple of points, right? It's not a ton. I get that it's not a ton, but you're going on volume here. And if you do this for your entire account as you're cleaning up right there, 20 points, and that barely cost me anything in terms of silver, then you keep going, you do 8. All right, so the Frost set is a great one. Frenzy is good as well. Regeneration, immunity, shield, relentless, savage, destroy, not that great. Stun, I think, is a good one. Toxic is also pretty good. Avenging is great. Like, for example, these shields right here also sell for 108,000. So also something to note here is that not all pieces are created equally. If you grab a pair of gloves, 6-star but rare, that is like a third of the price almost, so that is not really worth it. You need to pick the right pieces to do this on, and what I have for you guys, I'll get to it in a second, is an updated spreadsheet online with all this information. All right, then there's all the crafted pieces, also pretty good. You have all the divine pieces are also pretty good. The cruel and the immortal sets are also really good to do this with. All right, so now is the time to go through that cleaning that will help you complete this event. And so here's what I've done for you guys on a new tab called artifacts, and let me quickly explain something. This was my old core roster breakdown. I was breaking down my 12 most used champions for my clan boss, tag arena, and dungeons. Not doing faction wars, not doing Doom Tower, although Doom Tower is pretty much these champions as well. And then I had broken down the quality of gear on those champions for you guys. All right, and I came to the conclusion that I still have very few pieces that are epic 6-star, legendary 5-star, and legendary 6-star. So when I do these gear cleanses, I start with these pieces first because one, they sell for more. So as I'm ranking these up, maybe I'm going to find a new piece which is actually an upgrade on one of my champions, and then if it's worth it, I'm gonna keep pushing this further up until perhaps I go to rank 12 or even rank 16, right? So what I've broken down here on the artifact enhancement cheating for this part is the sets that are worth doing this with. Okay, so they're all listed here. Again, you guys can access this online. There's also the accessories. They're worth for even more. The accessories are really, really good. But then what I'm saying here is to only work with rank 5 to 6 gear, epic or legendary. The shields are worth more, then the weapon is worth more than the boots, boots more than gloves, then chest, then helm. I'm pretty sure it's in this order. Maybe you guys can double check this for me. Same thing with the accessories. Banner is worth more than the amulet or the ring. Okay, so you're really looking for the best pieces first. You do that with those, then maybe you can go down the list and keep working on the other ones. And then of course there is another method of cheating for the artifact enhancement event, and this is probably the one that I do the most. I simply hoard my rank 15 piece of gear ready to go to 16, and I do the same thing with rank 11s ready to go to rank 12. The problem is we've just had an artifact enhancement event, so this method right now, for me at least, is not doing much. I only have one piece of gear, which is the shield you see right there. So perhaps what you could do is to use a different method for each different artifact enhancement event. So I used up all my pieces of gear ready to go to 16 on the first artifact enhancement event of this fusion. For the second one, I'm probably going to rely on my gear cleanse, and I think I'll be able to generate a couple of points from there. They'll most likely have to also spend some silver on just getting some piece of gear from 12 to 16 entirely, right? So that is going to be very costly. But then if you're really, really desperate, and that leads me to the final point, and I call this one the exploit because that's basically what it is, and you really want to save more silver, you can do this right here, which is another known method. What you basically do is you, on your phone, obviously, and this is not my account, this is not my phone, I have an Android anyway, so you go offline. You simply turn off your Wi-Fi. Then you take your targeted piece of gear and you go through the process of putting the auto upgrade and counting the amount of tries it would require for this to work. Then it's going to get stuck on loading like this. It is going to give you an error message, basically telling you it cannot send the information back to the server. But what you've figured out with this is the total amount of tries it would take to upgrade from 15 to 16. So then what you do is you go on your account and you find other pieces of gear, preferably cheaper, right? You want something that is cheaper to upgrade. You're trying to save silver here. So I think that's what he's doing. He's just going over sort of like his champions, trying to find a piece of gear that would work for this. Then he's going to settle probably with just I believe it's a rare piece, level 10, and he's going to start upgrading that piece. He's going to burn 4 upgrades, knowing it took 5 to finish that banner. All right, so he's going to do 1 right here, which ends up working anyway, then 2, then 3, and then 4. So then he's going to stop, he's going to go back to that banner, and he's going to upgrade it instantly. So that will be a lot cheaper to do because it's 50,000 a pop just for every try. All right, guys, and then you go off of Wi-Fi and you keep doing this for all the other ones. So if I quickly go back to the guide here, that is the methods I highlight at the bottom here. The offline probably being the absolute best one to save silver. Rank 8 and then sell. That you can maybe like break even, maybe even generate a little bit of silver. Maybe you'll end up spending a little bit. But then there's, of course, just ranking up or hoarding everything that's rank 11 or rank 15 ready to go to the next one. This is relatively expensive, but the more you have of those, technically, the more silver you are saving. So there you have it, guys. This is what my so-called artifact enhancement event cheating is all about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.